Good morning, Millennial Morticians. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of this incredible podcast. I know you could have chosen to be anywhere, but today you decided to be with us. And for that, I am grateful. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for all the love, um, all the support. It means so much to me now that I'm officially a licensed funeral director in the state of Virginia. And what that also means for you and your benefit is that I can further engage and give you more information and take this podcast to another level. So thank you. Secondly, how can I not? They've been with me from the very start, and you should also be a part of our family. If you haven't already, check out Faveo Memorial Live Streaming. If you need live streaming that's simplified, number one. Number two, that's redefined. It's changing funeral service live streaming across the country. Check them out at faveo.org. Well, I hope you guys are ready for today's episode. I hope you guys are ready to dig in. The title of today's episode is From License to Legacy, Now What? From License to Legacy, Now What? So, first and foremost, I have to start this episode off. I think it's extremely important because my faith has gotten me through this process, has gotten me through this licensure, through mortuary school, through so many obstacles. I have to thank God, number one, for giving me the strength and the capacity and the capability to be able to balance all of these different aspects and areas of my life. If you're watching this episode, especially, this means that you yourself have survived something major in your life. You passed a major milestone. Your dream has come true. You've hit some kind of milestone that has redefined your life, or you've endured something over a long period of time. But the beautiful thing about life and the beautiful thing about right now in this moment, and the fact that you should be proud of yourself, is the fact that you are still standing to tell the story. Today's conversation, we're going to talk about something real, something raw, something that people across several fields feel, not just funeral services, and what's next in your life after you've reached that major peak in your life. What's next? What's after? And how does the legacy come out of that? We are talking about what happens after you get the license, after the boards, after the apprenticeship, after the late nights, after the stress, after refreshing the state board website 50 times, after posting the picture, after all of the congratulations and the thank yous have come and gone. Now what? What's next with your life? What's next? What next plans do you have for your future? Where do you see yourself? Because let me tell you, getting the license, believe it or not, is not the finish line. It's the entry point to what we do and who we are in this industry. Let me say that again. Getting the license is not by any means the finish line. It is the entry point. And nobody really prepares you for that feeling. You work so hard for this moment. You dream about it. You sacrifice for it. You pray about it. You tell people, when I get licensed, as if everything's going to shift overnight. Then the day comes, and yes, you're proud. Yes, you're grateful. Yes, you feel accomplished. But then a quiet question creeps in. Now, what? See, a license gives you legal authority, but it doesn't automatically give you leadership. It doesn't automatically give you vision. It doesn't automatically give you a legacy. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because there's a difference between being licensed and being transformational. I'm going to say that again. There's a difference between being licensed and being transformational. There's a difference between working in funeral services and shaping funeral service. There's a difference between having a job and building something that will outlive you. Some people get licensed and get comfortable. You get content. You're used to it by now. That excitement, that adrenaline has worn off for you. You stop learning. You stop evolving. You stop pushing. You start repeating, which is why I think things like CEUs that states have that as a part of their requirements are so important, because it keeps you learning and evolving instead of revolving. And that's dangerous in funeral services because funeral services is changing, and it's changing rapidly. Families are changing. Technology is changing. Culture is changing. Expectations are changing. And if you don't evolve, you get left behind. And here's the truth, guys. The license proves you can pass a test, but legacy proves you can pass impact. And legacy is built in the details. It's how you treat your families when no one's watching you. It's how you show up when you're extremely tired, you're exhausted. It's how you carry yourself in the prep room. It's how you communicate with staff. It's how you innovate when others complain. Legacy is built in consistency. And you know what I've realized over this whole experience and over this time is the moment you get licensed is the moment you become fully responsible. There's no more saying, I'm just an apprentice, or I can't decide, or I'm still learning. Now you are the professional. Now you are the one families look at. Now you're the ones interns watch. Now you yourself are the example. And that can either A, empower you, or B, intimidate you. So let me ask you something. Are you trying to be licensed, or are you trying to be legendary? Because there are licensed funeral directors everywhere, but there are few industry shapers, very few cultural changers, very few vision builders. The license is permission, but vision is choice. You have to choose in your life to keep growing, choose to invest in leadership, choose to understand this business and this industry, choose to understand your brand, choose to understand the finance behind funeral service, choose to understand the digital pressures that arise in today's market as funeral services change. Choose to mentor someone and pass your professional skills and your professional knowledge onward and upward to the next generation. Choose to think bigger than just the role or the title that you currently have. If you only chase the title, you'll plateau. But if you choose to chase impact, you'll expand. And let's talk about plateaus for a second. The plateau is a dangerous, dangerous place because it's safe, it's predictable, and it's comfortable. You know the calls, you know the paperwork, you know the routine, you know what to expect. But comfort kills innovation. If you're not careful, 5 years will pass and you'll still be operating the same way you did on day one. And then you'll look up and wonder why everything feels not exciting anymore. It feels just like a regular job. Funeral services deserves professionals who evolve. Families deserve directors who are emotionally intelligent. Owners deserve leaders who understand both compassion and cash flow. This generation deserves funeral directors who can balance transition with technology. Now, that's true legacy at work. And I'm speaking to myself too, because I don't just want to be known as someone who passed the boards. I want to be known as someone who built something, something that empowers the next generation, something that modernizes the profession, something that leaves a mark. And although, yes, my license is secured, my vision is bigger. So if you're in a space right now, if you just passed, or if you're about to pass, or you're grinding through that apprenticeship, don't stop at that milestone. Celebrate it, be proud, post a picture, and after the celebration's all over, get back to building and setting yourself up to win in the future. Well, guys, I'm your host, Jaden Folks. This is the Millennial Mortician Podcast, a podcast that engraves, and I hope it engraved you, your family, and your funeral home this week. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everyone that's reached out. Thank you to the Millennial Mortician Podcast. I love you guys. I can't wait to see what the future holds, and I can't wait to see how I advance and where my next mountain peak is in life as we continue this journey together. Guys, we're almost at 100 episodes, so leave some comments down of who's some special guests I should have. Should I do a panel for our 100th episode? It's going to be something unforgettable, and you're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you check us out on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, X, Facebook, wherever you can find us. All right, guys. Peace. I love you, and be safe. And remember, this is a podcast that engraves.